What's going on, guys? It's Jeramie with JeramieLu Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am very excited to be shooting this video. This is my second year in a row of filming a Halloween haunted house creating video. Last year, with the support of my friends and family and neighborhood, we decided to build a haunted house. And I filmed it not thinking anything of it. Filmed it last October for Halloween, of course, edited it, uploaded it 5 months later, and now it's the #1 video on my channel. So I want to thank you guys so much for the support, all the new subscribers. I'm here, it's happening, we're doing it again right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If this video helps you in any way, give it a thumbs up, click that bell for notifications. It tells you every time I come on, guys. I'm building a haunted house. We're making it bigger and more epic-ier and awesomer. I'm gonna show you guys what we're using. I'm gonna show you guys the setup, and at the end, I'm hoping to get more. So a lot of questions I had in the last video is, did it actually work? Did people actually show up for the last haunted house? We'll tell you the year before, 2017, we had probably 40 trick-or-treaters total. Last year, 2018, we had 80 to 100. And we had loiterers, meaning people just hung out and played in the haunted house and kind of walked around, and we talked to people, we met neighbors, and it was awesome. This year, I'm hoping to double that. Our neighbors are actually building one too, which is awesome. So we're gonna build one, they're gonna build one, and we're gonna have dual haunted houses, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna show you guys what we're building, and we're gonna build it, and you guys leave the comments and questions below. I'm happy to do so. I do wanna tell you guys the reason that we're building this is for my kids. So I have 4 kids, and I know in the last video I said something to the effect of, we're building it to get the kids here, and they're gonna have candy, and we're gonna have a good time. And I got a lot of weird, perverted comments. And I will tell you guys, anybody that thinks that when I say that has the issue, that's your issue, that's your bad. I'm just trying to bring kids here to play with and have a good time, and not let them in my house and let them play in this area here, okay? So that's where we're at right now. All right, so I did save a lot of stuff from last year and put everything down here. The area that we're building it is gonna be back here. So I'm gonna show you guys where we're building this haunted house. It's gonna be right here. Now, last year we built it with just a 3rd-car garage. This area right here up into the house. This one I'm gonna have an exit and an entrance. So I'm gonna be building it here, and we're gonna kind of loop it here. So they're gonna get their candy over there and they get out. So that's the goal. Here's what I have from last year, and I bought more stuff. The price of everything you guys are gonna see here in this area is about $300. Knowing that I spent $150 last year on everything that's kind of looks like it's been worn, all of this wrapped up, I spent about $150 on PVC, 1/2-inch PVC last year, knowing that I only spent $150, so this is theoretically $150. This doesn't include any of the stuff that goes inside of it, but we're not including that today. So we have 1/2-inch PVC, and we have all our fittings. We have a bunch of these, a bunch of, oh God, a bunch of crosses, bunch of these, and then we have a bunch of elbows just in case, and these are going to be the most used, and these are T's, and T's are going to be most used. They can actually be used as elbows too, you just kind of close it off, but these are going to be most used. Black plastic here. Now I did look at tarps, I did look at other things. This is just the cheapest thing that I can do. So we do have fire extinguishers ready to go, if anything. Everybody kept mentioning fire extinguishers, so we got that. The other thing that we've got here are clamps, guys. These clamps are, I bought on Amazon, and I will link everything down below for you guys, but these clamps simply clamp to the edge of these, and that's where my plastic bag's gonna hang out. So you put the bag over, you clamp the thing on, and it secures it. So I got a bunch of those. Zip ties and self-tapping screws I'm using for the first time. So if you guys look right here, last year I did a bunch of duct tape. This year I'm going to be using self-tapping screws. So I'm going to take a screw, put it in here, and then actually screw right down. It's self-tapping, so it'll automatically anchor itself, and that'll keep it really secure. I think 1/2-inch is totally fine. You guys can go 3/4 inch or even an inch. Just know that the bigger you buy, the more you spend. This is for one day. This works great. Last year I had some wind issues. It is windy right now. The date today, and I forgot to tell you guys, is October 29th, 2019. I will not start building this until tomorrow morning. Last year it took me a week to build, but it blew down twice. I did not upload those videos. I will upload those and I will link those down below when I do so. I will also link the video from last year down below so as well. So we're gonna get this set up starting tomorrow. What's up guys? All right, it's about 8:30 at night, October 29th. It is super windy today. I was actually gonna try to get some of the haunted house done, but I couldn't at all. So I'm actually putting pieces together. I have all the old pieces that I had from last year. They were zip tied together, they were duct taped together, so I actually had to get a little X-Acto knife and cut everything out to prep for this. But I wanna show you guys how I'm attaching the 5-foot segments together. So basically they're 10-foot segments when you buy the PVC pipe. I cut them in half. I have a bunch 5-foot from last year. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking 2 pieces, so 2 5-foot segments, and I'm getting a T-bar. And the reason I'm doing this a little in advance is because I know tomorrow when I build it, I'm going to be creating a lot of these 10-foot segments because everything is by 5 and 10. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a T-bar, and there's duct tape from last year, who cares? Boom, boom. The 5-foot segments actually made it really, really simple to store as well. So then with these guys, I have these half-inch self-tapping screws. And I actually got 1 foot or 1 inch and half inch are fine. There's 260 of these in this thing. And then what we're gonna do is that we are just gonna take it and we're gonna drill it on the intersection here, just where it's gonna connect. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna create an incredible freaking hard seal. And they're self-tapping, which means you don't need to drill a hole. It's like butter. Just a little bit of pressure, goes right in. So now this thing is freaking tight on this end opposed to this end. Ooh, ooh, see? So this won't come off at all. So I duct taped it last year this way. Now the breakdown's gonna be a little bit harder on this because I literally have to, when we break this down, I either keep these in 10-foot segments or I unscrew it, but I might keep in 10-foot segments and store it like this. But this way, I mean, this thing is not coming out, which is awesome. So when I have it set, I'm gonna do a bottom, middle, and top row, but all 10-foot segments, and then the ones that are gonna change are the ones that connect from each other to each other. Guys, I always forget how fast time goes. We are an hour in, or just doing this, and I'm actually really, really happy with the self-tapping screws. That kind of, last year, my haunted house fell twice due to the wind. It's actually really windy today, so I'm glad I didn't build it to test it out. But even without the bag on it, even without the plastic on it, the whole thing just toppled over. This thing is really awesome. So I'm gonna show you guys what we've done so far and how the screws look and work. So I've kind of started, and they actually drill in really, really quickly, which is nice. No real pressure, no real anything. These are gonna be my bases. So if you guys see right here, I have a long length, and then I have an up and down. So I always do 8 feet is the height that I do. So I have a bunch of 5-footers, my cross, and then this is a 3-footer. So I have a bunch of 3-footers. I've drilled 2 onto here. So this is gonna be the cross. I have 2 more to do. And I need about 8 of those crosses total. 8 of those crosses are gonna connect with each other. My haunted house is gonna be a rectangle into a square, into a rectangle. So those are all just gonna attach to each other. And the goal is that's sturdy enough in kind of a giant rectangle form that everything should be good. So the walk's gonna kind of do a Z. And it's not meant to be long, it's not meant to be a maze. It's just a cool haunted house that we'll kind of play with. And every year, hopefully it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger as we build things. One thing that I forgot to tell you guys is a lot of the stuff that we have decor, of course, from being, a family for a while, but we went to Spirit the day after Halloween, and we'll do it again on November 1st. And everything's 50 to 75% off. And we spent like $600 and got just everything that we could grab. So we're gonna do that again. So next year we'll have more stuff. That's the goal. Good morning, guys. Well, not really morning. It is 11 o'clock. I just got some food. I just spent the morning editing and emailing. So I have a little bit extra time until my 3 o'clock shoot. So I have a good 3 hours to rock this out. We're gonna rock this out right now. One thing I didn't tell you guys, and I've actually been, the reason we've been pushing this off is I ordered a greenhouse frame. And what the greenhouse frame is, it looks like this. This is not mine. This is my neighbor's. So this is a greenhouse frame here. It's basically a frame for a greenhouse. And I ordered 2 of these, and then I sent them the link to order it. For some reason, mine isn't arriving till October 31st, which is tomorrow. They got theirs within 3 days. They got theirs last week, and I ordered mine before. So then I went through a different company, ordered it just to see. So I have both on order. One of them is supposed to be here, or one set's supposed to be here today. So I have 2 of them coming today, and I don't know when. And that's gonna dictate how much of the piping that I'm using. This thing right here is a 10 foot by 7 foot by 12 foot. It was like $80. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it is sturdy. So my goal was having my sturdy one, and then building the middle out of PVC piping to keep everything sturdy. It is a little windy. It's 38 degrees right now. Tomorrow it's gonna be 57 degrees for Halloween. So I'm excited for tomorrow, but today is going to be cold. A reminder, yesterday we built the frames out. Part of the frames out. We have all this extra piecing right here, and we're attaching everything with screws, with self-tapping screws. So be excited, it's happening, and we're rocking it out right now. All right, guys, I had to leave for a little bit to go to Lowe's, but we are back. We are back, and I have finished the square frame. I'm hoping I don't have to build the other side of it. So I'm hoping that the FedEx guy shows up in the next couple hours and I can get this done. But look what we got so far. I'm super excited. I'll kind of go through the whole thing, but we have it's a rectangle, even though I kept saying square, but I decided to make it a little bit longer than normal. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys what we have and what we've built, and kind of go over everything that we've done. So basically all I did, guys, was I just made a 20-foot length on both sides with some T's that goes into crosses. Now, the reason I had to go back to Lowe's is to get more of these crosses. These crosses are now sold out at Lowe's. I can't get any more. And I connected everything via the same both sides. We do have crosses right here that connect to end. If you guys notice on the corners here, I don't have anything going up. They don't make, or at least they didn't have it at Lowe's, but they do make ones that go this way, this way, this way, and up this way. It's a 4-spout. Sadly, they didn't have it, so I couldn't do it, but I'm putting the plastic bag on it anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. But this is our framing before we add any bags or anything else. The top kind of pulled it all together to keep it from sagging. So this is what it looks like right now. The next step I'm gonna do before getting onto anything is I'm going to start drilling little screws into the new corners. I didn't do it as I went, just in case I had to move everything, but now everything's set up. It's a box. It's actually pretty sturdy. It is a little tiny windy today, nothing too crazy, but we're also going to just drill little holes in these new little spots right here to keep everything secure. I was super surprised. So to keep this very simple for you guys, when you are building this yourself, I just did 5-foot segments for the long. So everything is either 5 feet, or the only thing that's top is 3 feet for the height. So if you want the height 7 feet tall, 6 feet tall, or whatever, that's gonna be your change in height. Otherwise, once it's connected, everything else is the same. If you make it a 10-foot, then you really only need 5-foot pieces. They sell them at Lowe's 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch or whatever. I'm using 1/2 inch at 10 feet. So I'm just doing them. You can cut them in half and make that if you want. If you're doing it for little kids, little tiny people, you can just do 5-foot increments and be done. 2:30 or 11:30 I got done. It's 2:30 now. I have the framework done, and I know that a lot of you guys were wondering, especially from last year's videos, how much everything costs. I wrote the word cheap. I think anything under $500 to build a haunted house in your front yard is cheap. Even if you're buying wood, metal, or whatever, I think it's really cheap. Now, that's not including the stuff inside. I do have a couple injuries. Oh my God, look at these. I cut my hand with those screws. But those screws are kind of what saved it. So here's what I did with this corner. So these two corners have zip ties. So they're separate entities. If you guys saw me build that, separate entities. And I zip tied them together just so they're a little more secure. I'm hopeful that the FedEx guy is gonna be here soon so I can put another piece here and another piece there and show you guys the final. But with that being said, this haunted house in itself that's behind me is an awesome layout to have. There's nothing to joke about with this. This is pretty big. This is 500 feet of PVC piping or 50 10-foot PVC pieces to buy. Each PVC piece, if you buy over 10, is about $1.14. So $1.14 times 50, you're looking at about 60 bucks, maybe 70 with tax. With the zip ties, the screws, and the fitting pieces. The fitting piece is probably the most expensive because these little cross ones are like $1 something each, but you can buy the contractor's pack of the tries and the tees. I say that this all right here is about $140 for this frame right here. If you have $140, you want to build a frame this big, you can do it. If you want to spend $100, you can still do it. It's just going to be a smaller frame. Who cares, right? But then you're going to fill this, you're going to topple this with plastic or tarps or whatever, and then you're gonna put your stuff inside. So the plastic's part of it. Plastic's $10. I think the plastic's probably the most I'm gonna spend, about $60 or $70 to fill this whole thing. But other than that, I think this is pretty cheap and pretty good. So this is our layout here. I'm gonna be adding the two pieces, so an $80 piece here and an $80 piece there, but you don't have to do that, but I'm gonna do that. So it's an extra 160 bucks on top of it. And we are then going to get it all set up tonight. Hopefully it's here tonight. I can set that up in the freezing cold. It's freezing right now. I have to go to a portrait shoot, and then we're gonna topple it and we're going to put stuff inside of it, decorate it. I got some tape to make a little thing for people to know where to go, and I'm excited. So I'll show you guys that in a little bit as we build. When the thing comes, I'll show you guys the build and the final setup before I tarp everything to kind of keep you guys going. But I will say that these screws are the lifesaver. Nothing is coming out, nothing is moving. Last year, my thing toppled twice because I duct taped it. And the first time I actually had to do anything, I was like, oh, these are gonna be fine. And it all toppled. You live and you learn, and I'm living and I'm learning. So I'll show you guys a little bit. Thanks for sticking with me. Bye.